be joining us online. My name is Yandisa Chitwa. I'm the founder of Emerge Africa Media. And this is the first series or interview of the Let's Talk Business series of interviews and conversations with entrepreneurs. And today we have Marya and Tasi, who are joining us from Bold Engament. So we're so excited to be chatting to them today and to be catching up on what they do as entrepreneurs. So I'm going to give over to them to introduce themselves and to tell us a bit more about who they are and their business.
Thank you so much for having us. We really, really appreciate the opportunity to speak to yourself and those who are listening in and watching in. I am Marya Roux, and joining us is Tasi, Naidoo, my partner. We're the co-founders of Bold Engament. We started the company in February this year, which is quite an odd time to decide to kick off a company. But we have some very valid reasons for wanting to, put ourselves on the map during these current times. So we really created the company with one thought in mind: the future. A lot of people are stuck in COVID and have, anxiety and fatigue around what the challenges that currently presents. And we really wanted to create this company to focus on a sort of more forward-thinking approach. So we asked ourselves, how can we create, design, and deliver bold, engaging, and meaningful events, as well as virtual experiences to our clients and to existing clients or new clients? So we decided, well, let's do what we do best. Let's get the best minds together, the most creative people, and let's form bold engagements and really go out there and try and inspire and motivate, people who are really struggling at the moment. So for us, the name Bold Engagement really speaks to the agenda that we're trying to encourage. We want every event that we do to really have a meaningful impact. We're not just, another events company. We really want to make a difference, and we really want to add value to everything that our clients do. So that really is what sort of inspired us to start the company. And Tasi really is the perfect co-founder. She offers a lot. So we're super excited. And as I said, we really just want to offer our clients a forward-thinking, strategic approach to executing events and to look at ways that they can improve their sales, they can motivate their staff, and they can also still have the client interactions and engagements even while the pandemic is going on and, we're limited in terms of our direct face-to-face contact. So we currently operate from Gauteng, but we do have teams throughout South Africa, and we are finding that there is even demand in the rest of Africa, so for the likes of Mozambique, and we're super excited to kick off and see what we can bring to the party.
That sounds amazing and exciting. I love what you guys are doing. And so my question is, I just want to understand, have you guys been always virtual, or is it something new? Is it a new element that you started adding to how you offer event services?
Yeah, so I think it's always played a part in traditional events. And it's always been a really key element, the kind of digital, virtual side of things. And, everyone who's watching would have at some stage during the pandemic had to sort of jump onto a Zoom call or a Microsoft Teams. So we've seen a real shift in terms of what platforms we've had to play on in terms of the digital side of things, and then, doing away a little bit with the face-to-face contact. I think saying that there is a huge value in grasping the sort of virtual side of things. I think there is a lot you can do. You can also connect to a broader audience and, clients, colleagues. And so that side of things has been really interesting in the virtual space. And we actually affiliated with a virtual studio that's set up in Sandton. So we have those partners who have the equipment. And I think for us, if I'm not going off the beaten track, it's really finding our sort of value and looking at things even differently from a virtual side of things, because a lot of companies would just say, well, you know what, we'll just sort of put a Zoom link out there and off we'll go. But we're saying, well, there's a lot more to it. So yeah, we have played in the virtual space in the past, but it is definitely more a focal point at the moment.
Absolutely true. I mean, the times we are living in has forced everyone to consider the way they do business. So virtual is definitely the way to go forward. And could you guys take us back a bit to when you had the thought or the idea of starting Bold Engagement, or perhaps even before you started Bold Engagement, but when you started in the events industry? As an example. So take us back to what were your thoughts back then? What was it that inspired you about the events industry specifically? And what is that thing that got you to sit down and say, okay, this is the kind of business that I want to start, and this is the gap that I feel like I want to bridge in this industry particularly.
Yeah, absolutely. So for us, there's really four sort of key factors. The one is the landscape. The second is the gap that we've identified. The third is the passion that we have. And the fourth is the empowerment that we're wanting to put out there. So if I go through, those sort of four factors. So anyone who understands the eventing landscape will know that there is a ceiling. If you work for a company, generally, once you've worked your way up to sort of managing director, you won't be able to earn more or learn more or grow more unless you really remove yourself from that environment and start your own company. So it's quite common in the industry. And I love the saying that a fish only grows in accordance with the size of its pond. And that's really where we sort of found ourselves. We were both working for other people in the industry. And we just got to a stage where we realized that we wanted to not only do things our way, but we wanted the sort of direct effort and the reward to correlate. So that's sort of from a landscape perspective. The second one was, sort of is more specific to when COVID hit. And we started seeing from industry competitors that they were very sort of put down by, the burden of what COVID has brought. And it's hit our industry extremely hard. And so we started saying, well, if we can take a different approach and start a company in a pandemic, imagine what we can do when the pandemic is over or when it's under control. So we looked at it and said, unfortunately, obviously, the pandemic will squash a lot of competitors, which is really sad for the industry. But it does present opportunities for us who are bold enough to say, well, we are going to push through. We're going to do what we can, and we're going to try and inspire the clients that we can now. But then we're really going to thrive once, as I say, the pandemic is sort of under control. So we really do believe that the future of events will be about bold engagements, tough conversations, and we wanted to put ourselves in the driving seat of that and really push that agenda. Then the third element that I touched on is passion. We are really passionate. My whole life has been about the events industry and the what I give to my clients and what I deliver. And I know for Tasi, it's the same. So we really wanted to put our passion into a brand that we fully believe and that we're behind. The last element is really, really close to both my heart and Tasi's heart, and that is women empowerment. We are looking at ways to encourage and inspire and train up young, passionate women and show them how to not only enter the industry, but how to make it in the industry. So that is something that we are going to take forward as Bold Engagement, and we're going to see how we can inspire future individuals like ourselves.
Absolutely love that. I love the last 2 points particularly, which are passion and women empowerment. Because sometimes you find that we have all the technical knowledge about how to run and build a business, but then the things that are able to sustain entrepreneurs through the difficult times or the seasons, would really be passionate and, doing it with purpose. So we absolutely love that. And so my next question is really around how you are able to navigate through challenges that you have faced. And could you share with us the greatest lessons that you guys have learned as entrepreneurs?
I think, with being an entrepreneur, I think there's, a lot of lessons to be learned from having your own business. And one of them is without a doubt that you can actually survive on 3 hours of sleep a night. So yeah, we've learned that the hard way. But on a serious note, and I think bringing it closer to Bold Engagement, has a home for us. The misconception of being an entrepreneur is that one has to do it alone. However, with us, we believe that unity breeds success. We are partners because we gel together, we get each other, and we complement each other. And Marya and I, we share the same business ethics, values, and quality that we deliver on to our clients. So, entrepreneurship for us, both on a personal and professional level, has taught us resilience and adaptation is one of the most valuable lessons, and that in any situation, you just straighten your shoulders and you power on.
Wow, I love that. I love that you power on, and you keep going because it can be so easy for one to give up and to give in and to say, oh, well, it's not working. But to have the mindset that you guys have of, keep going and keep powering on is very inspiring. So we definitely love that. So for this next question, we just want to know a bit more about the services that you offer. I know you might not necessarily just be doing events, but there might be other things that you also do. So please tell us a bit more about your services that you offer.
Okay, so obviously due to COVID, our current focus is delivering powerful virtual events from our studio that's located in Sandton. But once the industry opens, we offer a full end-to-end event solution, which includes the conferencing, launches, galas, functions, year-end, as well as incentive travel, both local and international. And, for us, what this entails is individual or group motivation and development of mentality in the business zone, specifically tailored for each of our clients differently. Events and incentives for us mean, the little touch points along the journey that instill a feeling of appreciation and instill a feeling of fuzziness, which the aim for us is for that to resonate within our clients, stakeholders, and their employees for a very, very long time. For us, it's about creating mind-blowing, meaningful experiences, whether it's tech or touch. So that, in a nutshell, that is, our service offering has Bold Engagement. It is, it is our expertise. It's what we do best, and we would like to focus on what we do best.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I just also want to go back to something that Marya mentioned earlier about COVID. Could you guys share with us how has COVID affected you? Has it been a negative experience? Has it been a mostly positive experience? And tell us about a particular challenge maybe that you might have faced during the season, and how did you manage to overcome that particular challenge that you faced that was maybe brought by COVID or the COVID situation?
Okay, so I think we all can agree here that tourism has been one of the most hard-hit industries during COVID, and it was the first hit, and it probably will be the last to recover. And, fortunately, Bold Engagement was founded this year with obviously the future of events in mind post-COVID. So what we've had to do, is to, we've had to learn to adapt our approach to engagement, currently focus on virtual offerings and experiential packages, which can be sent to clients. It's about motivating corporates and saying to them, are you thinking about your employees? Are you checking in? There's something different that we can do. We don't have to go, take a first-class plane to Mauritius to appreciate you. We can send you a little gift to your home to say that we're thinking about you, we value. So we've had to like sort of, think around ways to encourage, motivate, inspire, and equip corporates to think differently along the lines of that. And I think, it also comes from, the notion that, most employees are now sitting at home working remotely, which is great for digital, but is it great for the mind frame? Is it great for the mindset? And we also have to understand that a lot of employees or individuals, they find it very hard to focus at home. It's a different mindset and space. And for them, the work environment is a getaway. It's their sort of sanity. So we're encouraging the corporates, we're encouraging our clients to check in, to make them feel inclusive in the work environment, although it's not a physical work environment. And I think we've also went to the extent of partnering with an executive coach, offering employee wellness sessions and workshops, just to deal with COVID fatigue and anxiety that's related to the workplace. I think on the positive side of the impact of COVID, for both Marya and I, it has led to a better understanding of relationships of clients and suppliers facing from a holistic perspective. And also, the mindset has changed about the manner in which we position event management. So I think, holistically, COVID has its negatives and yet its positives as well.
Yeah, and I think if I can just add to that as an example, and we had clients who were scheduled to travel internationally. And now that the South African tourism space has opened up a little more, they're redirecting that budget to South Africa, which is a fantastic positive. We see a lot of money leaving the country and being spent in the likes of Europe or Russia or, Brazil. So it is nice to see that although it is a fairly forced decision, it is nice to see that the spend is being directed to local. And I think there's been a really big appreciation for what South Africa has to offer. And I really believe that will stay even post-COVID. And I think that for me, that's a fantastic mind shift.
As someone who's worked in corporate myself and who's had the experience of working from home, I can totally agree that what Tasi was mentioning towards the end, that encouraging corporates to check in on their employees, because working from home is really a different experience, and it can cause quite a lot of anxiety to a person, especially if your home environment is not conducive. So absolutely agree and love that. So as we're nearing towards the end of our interview, I would like to ask you guys to share your top 3 tips that you can share with other entrepreneurs, particularly those within the same industry as you guys, that you would like them to be to know, or to be aware of, or to be encouraged as event or coordinators, or as entrepreneurs within the event space. So what are your top 3 tips to ensure efficiency or effectiveness within your industry?
Okay, so I think I'll take that one. I think, there's a lot of things that you need to consider within the industry, but if, my top 3 would be, the first one would be to really, really know your client well, what their expectations are, what their personalities are, what it is that they want to achieve from an event, and how can we add that intrinsic value to them. So that would be my most important element of, the events industry and, working as a coordinator. The second one is that, events can be highly stressful. And I think the key there is to, it's a very basic rule, but it is to learn to manage your stress and your time effectively. So organization is key for event management. There's a lot of back-end work. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of There's a lot of damage control or contingency plans that you need to prep for. And I think the third one would always be, has a thumb of rule, is to expect that something will go wrong. And this means that you need to be prepared for anything and everything that could happen. So, what we do is we usually in our heads, we brainstorm contingency plans and we are prepared for it. And the key is to be prepared for for damage and to have a damage control in place. So yeah, I think that would be my top three.
So my final question, just before I give you guys the opportunity to share your final thoughts, where can people find you if they're looking for your services or if they need quotes or anything like that? How can people connect with you? Where can they go to find you? And yeah.
Perfect. So they can either visit our website, which is boldengagement.co.za, or they can interact with us on social media. It's at Bold Engagement on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
Awesome. So as we wrap up, I would just like to give both of you or one of you an opportunity to just share any words of encouragement to other entrepreneurs in the industry like yourself, any words of encouragement that you would like to share with them, considering the time and season that we are in and the kind of mindset that they too need to put on in order to run businesses with a good chance of succeeding, because we know that for startups or for early businesses, it's very tricky and chances of failure are high. So what words would you like to share with those who are in the industry of business like yourself? Yep.
Tess, so if I can quickly jump in before you do a final word from your side. I think the main thing is keep your head up. Yes, we are facing a lot of challenges, but this too will pass. And yes, the environment may look differently or different, but we are very resilient as South Africans, and we will get through it. And you will see a lot of companies thriving and growing through these times. So I think keep your head up. Lean on your networks, ask for help through your support system, collaborate with whether it's normally a direct competitor or someone who can just complement what you do. So yeah, I think don't give up is the main thing. I think there is a lot of opportunity, and I know that we can get through it. So yeah, that's the last from me.
Thank you so much. Tasi, would you like to also share any final words?
Yes, I would love to. So just in closing, regarding Bold Engagement, we are a team that bring a fresh perspective to the industry and provide valuable experience, and that will help inspire many companies out of the pandemic fatigue and equip them to face, the new norm. Our desire is to grow and deliver a now greater than ever, to fill the gaps in the market and to, just pace the morale of the people and the need to interact and engage on a face-to-face level. We do believe that our strategic forward-thinking approach and flawless execution will be a force to match in the industry. We are extremely positive and optimistic about the future of events. And when the boom happens, Bold Engagement will be at the forefront of the industry. So everybody watch the space. We would, in closing, Yandiswe, Marya and I would like to thank Cape Town Business Workshop and Emerge Africa for this opportunity and convey our heartfelt gratitude to you for featuring us. We are truly very thankful.
Thank you so much. We are also very grateful for giving us your time and giving us the opportunity to connect and to have this session with you. We know that opportunities like these are not common, and we really are grateful. And we wish you all the best in your business endeavors. So it's good to connect with people in the industry. And yeah, thank you so much for
Absolutely. Your time. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.